Rotate the image 180 degrees.
What? Rotate it?
Hold on,
I think maybe I see
Oh,
something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, no.
Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
When she said that, I actually turned my head around, and I was like, oh my god, I know who did it. That is crazy. Now, before we get into our usual shtick, I bet you're wondering why the title says the first trial, instead of some about the investigation.
well, it's because
The video file that we made for the investigation episode got corrupted, so
we hate corruptions.
we did it, but no one's ever gonna see it because I can't do anything about it. I mean, there is some I can do about it, but that would take too long. So with that out of the way, what's up guys, I'm Anime Central, and welcome back to Danganronpa.
Hey guys.
Last time, which nobody saw, we went around Hope's Peak looking for clues to what caused Sayaka's death.
This movie. Oh yes.
And then Monokuma told us to head to this elevator, and now we're in this little courtroom where we will get to the first of my favorite parts of the game, the class trials.
Yes, I am excited.
Which I'm also excited about because for the first time in the series, I don't have to read too much. The class trials are fully voiced.
God damn it, why do you always like this? Come on, reading's good.
Well,
Are you
Makoto's inner
supporting education or not?
Makoto's inner thoughts are still, you have to read them, but the rest of it is voiced.
Oh yeah.
And here is proof that we did do it. We have all the truth bullets.
Don't think they know about the truth bullets, but sure, yeah. That's true.
Let's
We
just
could also share some screenshots, or at least.
let's equip some of the skills that we
What
got.
is SP?
Skill points.
I'm used to MP, thanks to Metopia.
Let's equip some of the skills that we got from talking to people in free time. We got Robot Jock, which we can finally figure out what it does. Increases your truth bullet rate of fire, effective during the non-stop debate in the bullet time battle. Final strike costs 3 SP. Yeah, let's do that, because once you fire it and you kind of miss, then it's kind of weird just waiting for it. Then you have to listen to the whole thing again. And Melodious Voice, which we got talking to Sayaka. Increases the damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. Trust me, we'll need that. I'll make it go a lot quicker. Anyway, let's do this. Class trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
He's gonna say this in every trial, so I'm just going to play it the first time, and then we'll skip over it the other times.
Yeah, we'll just skip
If
it.
you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course.
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hand.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
And furthermore, how would we see it? Our eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Oh yeah, those.
What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Also, if you're wondering why Junko has one, well, she died last episode. We just couldn't
yeah, I
show
thought
it
that was-
because, well, it got corrupted.
I thought that was. I'm good.
No, remember, she said that she wasn't gonna do the trial, so she
Yeah,
attacked
yeah,
Monokuma,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
I kind of forgot that she
got
kind of got KO'd
Friendship
with a lot.
penetrates.
Oh god.
Okay.
No.
But what about that other empty seat?
Oh.
There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the class trial begin.
It's about to begin. The debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me. Everyone's lives are on the line. This is the first minigame that I was talking about. It's called a non-stop debate, where we use the truth bullets to break through something somebody says.
Oh, this.
But we need to use... And you'll know it's happening because the room will start to spin after something somebody says.
Oh.
So at first, it's just one thing and one thing.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono!
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom.
And when we see something that doesn't look right, we just BOOM!
No, that's wrong. Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
And we don't have to do that slow down thing, but... Plus there is an achievement for going through a trial without doing it, but... We'll do that some other time.
With the way things have been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
Duh.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom? She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. Kitchen notes
Right.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
Wait,
No, that's wrong.
I thought it was that one. I haven't played this one in so long that I kind of remembered, kind of forgot some of the
I
answers,
do think it
but...
was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Exactly.
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not gonna change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere, just waiting for us to find it. Because I know dang well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about the non-stop debates. I don't remember, it's gonna start telling us different things that'll pop up in the later ones, like there'll be more than one truth bullet, there will be more than one argument. But I don't remember which one is which, so we'll just look at it so that I know which one is which. Okay, you can concentrate. We know about concentrating.
think you just skipped over.
Yeah, we know about concentrating. We did it on the first one. Okay, so our boy is Allie's account.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
Yep.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret.
Wait!
No, that's wrong.
There was someone in the hall.
Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. When I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen to wash my glass, well, the knife was gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other? Idiot swimmer girl?
That's actually a pretty good burn.
Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
Right. That's totally not gonna pop up sometime down the road.
So it is gonna pop up somewhere down the road.
I didn't say that.
What if
I
they
did not say that.
work together, and they just
Wow, that
didn't
was an
know about the
obvious
rules?
spoiler, man.
You're probably gonna forget about it by the time we get there.
Oh yeah, I still haven't forgotten about like somebody was hiding out as a girl and turned out to be a boy or something.
Shush!
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case!
Well, there's nobody talking, so I can cut this out. Did you really have to say that while they were on screen?
Okay. Telling you to, yes.
Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Anyway,
Like he
I
said.
didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife, so I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
You do not want to have that confusion. She could pound you into a pancake fast and you could say, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms, but it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
That's a
We
girl and a girl.
just went over this.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
Like I said, if you got on her bad side, which you're literally right next to her, then she could pound you down faster than you could say that.
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore.
Wait, what? Someone who's not here. Are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen was... This is some where it's like a multiple choice thing, but only one of them is right, as in most multiple choices. But sometimes, but for this one, it's pretty obvious.
I got it!
Honestly,
Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
Also, you'll know that you got it right because you'll see a little "I got it" thing pop up.
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
Then the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Oh, for God's sake.
What?
See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn. If I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? If they convict me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
This is the other thing I was talking about, Hangman's Gambit, where we're gonna be given a word, but not fully, and we need to complete it. Something that should have been at the scene, but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can just figure out what that something is. Hangman's Gambit. Okay, so we got H and I. I think it's pretty obvious what the word is. Right?
I think so.
Also, you have to shoot the one that the question mark is on, otherwise you'll take damage. Now I understand. Complete.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there.
Something about her accent, she pronounces all the other names just fine, but when she does like one of those long Japanese names, she kind of like splits it up like Sayaka and Makoto.
That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true!
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Thank you.
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence that proves that it is the object the killer broke. This is another thing that'll pop up. It's multiple choice, except all the choices are literally every truth bullet that we found. But this one, it's pretty obvious. It's this one.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point here? Okay, let's see what this one is. The number of weak sparks will start going up, so
basically there'll be like two or
yeah, there'll be more of them, but only one of them is the actual lie.
Right.
This is the one I struggled at first. Okay, bathroom door.
Okay.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the main room.
You have to determine which one of these
she
are
then
true
fled
and
into
which
the
ones
bathroom.
aren't. That's
Then
part of
the
the
killer
hard part.
ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
Oh, no, you don't.
No, it's wrong.
She couldn't have locked it because the boys' rooms don't have locks, remember?
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with walk-in bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be.
Seriously, this is literally his
What?
theme.
Music change every single time Monokuma comes on.
This literally is his theme. It pops up whenever he starts talking, except for very specific points, like at the beginning there.
But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the
Shut
reason the
up.
door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so they didn't know that the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime that they didn't know was...
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. The killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Thank you!
Finally.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Y'all get murdered. I wanted to say it kind of hilariously, but...
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Y'all get moided.
Exactly. I should have just said it's on.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah,
You're looking pretty sus right now, Leon.
Red sus! Vote him out, boys!
Technically he's orange, but...
Shut up.
Yeah, our
Vote
next
him
on
out.
the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Oh yeah, because Sayaka was the only one who had the key.
In
Yes.
room.
How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and
gotta
the
thought,
culprit
but
picked
no.
it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Plus we actually found it in the room, so...
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative!
Oh, he died.
If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way.
How?
They
Broke down the
could've
door and
knocked
no.
and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
Sounds like you don't know your place.
The only place I know that I'm not is trash duty. Yep, I just went there.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in because we switched rooms.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of switching? That's what I was just saying. That's why I picked that.
She just said I might episode
Knowing
2
what
or
she'd been
episode
through,
1.
I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
Technically, she said it last episode because last episode is...
So you want me to say it was episode 2?
No,
That's when...
no, 3. Remember? We went through the videos, us wanting to switch, we went through all of that in episode 3.
Oh. Okay, never mind.
Episode 4 didn't really happen, this is technically episode 4, so technically that's last episode.
She said that last episode!
So, I guess when we're talking about the missing episode 4, we could just say, in the lost episode.
What he said behind the scenes, guys.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh?
What?
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, But look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two, in 5 minutes. Come see me in my room. Check the nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong move, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil.
We checked that, why couldn't we find it?
And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
Alright then.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means, only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But...
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Then, that note. Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
God.
Of course, he said in the last episode, blah blah blah. The only thing 3D is good for is showering love and affection and cheesy.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
I'm terrified, but sure. This whole game makes me terrified, but sure.
Door name.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Yeah.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in.
Hold up!
No, that's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
Yes.
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves.
What's Mondo so mad about?
It was probably like
As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name.
Oh yeah, we did notice that in the last episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
We said we needed to go to Sayaka's room. We saw something, we need to go to Sayaka's room, but when we went out, it seemed like we had just gone out of Sayaka's room, so it's like, what the heck? Right?
And then, yeah, I got damn.
And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Yeah.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Yeah.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
I think it's pretty obvious who it was.
Right?
It is?
Okay, then who did it?
Right, it is.
There's only one person who could have switched the nameplates. The only person who knew we had switched rooms.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
There's something I want to talk to you about, just this too. 5 minutes, come see me in my room. check the nameplates to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
And second off, I still want to know how they switched nameplates. Those things don't even look like they can come off.
To understand
honestly,
that,
they look like they can come off to me.
To me, they don't.
Weird.
we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room.
Next episode, when we have free time or we're just strolling around, I'll try to point that out, okay?
Okay.
That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sayaka
All I know
with
is
your
that
killer
she
there in the
invited
room,
somebody.
yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Really?
Look at the look on Leon's face.
Man, seriously, if that doesn't scream suspicious, I don't know what does.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt. I forget, am I supposed to just, I forgot this one, are we just supposed to put in the Sayaka's wrist bullet, or are we supposed to put in something about the sword? YOLO!
I got it!
Yes!
YOLO!
All you have to do is take a good look at her
Don't do it,
broken
YOLO.
wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
Not really.
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
You finally said something that's not completely obvious. Or wait, something that we didn't know that was completely obvious.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room, and what led to Sayaka's death. That's what we need to make clear. I think this is the one that's saying that there'll be more bullets. That there are also more bullets. I mean, there won't be for a few trials since we have it on kind, but if we had it on whatever the hard difficulty is, whatever the hard difficulty is, that I don't remember.
Insane.
Let's just look at it to see. Mean. If it's set to mean, then from here on out you'll get 3 at a time. But if you have it set to kind, like we do, then you won't get 3 for another couple. And on gentle, I don't think you get it until like the final one, if at all.
Wow. And now we made this slightly more interesting for ourselves. And not
okay, so now we have 3. We have replica sword, kitchen knife set, and replica sword. Only one of these goes to one of the things we need
When
to
the
shoot.
fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the
kitchen knife she had hidden away.
No, I don't think that's it. I don't think that's a
too.
lie, but I don't think that's it either.
And that's exactly what happened.
Wait. If it was just a sword, yeah, if the person with the sword did really attack first, there's no explanation for how a certain part of the sword got damaged. So we know what we need to shoot, and what we need to shoot with.
The culprit, and that's when the first sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong.
I felt that was it, but I was like, I'm not actually sure.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Yeah,
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's common sense.
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
That sounds like it could have been what happened.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
Okay, this is the first time that you said something I don't believe.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Exactly.
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Oh, yeah! Part of her body that shows she never used the sword. If she wanted to use the sword, which part of your body would have to touch it?
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
What does that have to do with anything we're talking about right now?
Agreed! Ugh.
No, that's not it at all.
There's no way Saya could wash the gold coating off her hands because there's a certain regulation that talks about what happens to the bathroom at nighttime. The water was off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Really?
Wow.
And
you say...
I'm surprised you're not... I'm surprised... I want to say something about I'm surprised you're expecting people to say you stink, but she's saying it more than literally anybody else here, so...
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
Somebody say that. Somebody say this before I say it.
An insult, obviously.
Thank you.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, Then the one who damaged the sheath with the kitchen knife was...
The one who damaged the sheath with the one who damaged the sheath would have had been the one without sword, which... Oh no.
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
What?
She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Well, if it really is her, then after seeing what was in her video, then I can't really blame her.
Honestly, it kind of makes sense.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Yeah, actually.
Did she just drain our trust or betray us?
I guess we'll have to find out.
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates.
I think the word he was missing there was pin it. So the full sentence would be, Sayaka wanted to pin it on me?
Yeah, that...
She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
Which we did.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy
Come on, how you get caught, but I can't? What is this?
This is just how the game is.
I can't cook, but you can cook. Come on.
This is just how the game is. When BG Mike does it, he doesn't... When he just reads the stuff, he doesn't actually say some of this stuff. I think he does still let them say it, but he doesn't say it himself when he's reading it. I have since found out that Mike actually does censor the S and F words. But I'm still right on hell. I can say hell if I want to, because he lets people like Mondo say hell. Suck it, Kappa. Back to the video. So, yes, it's stupid, but them's the rules for doing this for these kind of channels.
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
It's true.
Because...
Just admit it.
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument! You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really all over? Obviously, I'm committed to finding out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. Apparently there is, though. Remember? She left us something. She left us something behind her.
Yeah, I said that.
It's easy just to say, "Hey, decide who did it." But
why is it us that we have to?
No, that's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
Dying.
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
There's no question that Sayaka wrote that message, and I can prove it. Her...
I got it!
Yes, I thought it was that one.
Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Exactly.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it.
Letters.
But still,
numbers.
What the heck do those numbers mean?
The ones could be L's or even I's.
11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and
That's what I would say, but I can't do that.
We already asked her, remember?
Yes.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Wait, what?
Letters. Letters. I called it.
Yeah,
I called it.
Huh? What? What?
No, it's just look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers.
I called it.
These first two, 1 1, look less like two numbers and more like
They look
one
like an
letter.
N. Actually,
You're
the more I'm
right.
looking at it.
The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1 1, but looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa! You might have finally just said something worth a
I would have said that as well.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Yeah. Dang it, it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
What?
Rotate it? I think maybe I see
Oh
something.
my god.
Oh my god, no.
Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
When she said that, I actually turned my head around and I was like, oh my god, I know who did it. That is crazy.
Wait a minute, I also know who did it. Wait a minute.
Right on to who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
I know who it is.
Sayaka's dying message reveals the killer's real name. If you turn the message 180 degrees, it should become crystal clear. That person is... this guy right here.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N.
Or more accurately, Leon.
That's right,
What the hell are you talking about?
Boy,
It's
vote him
just a
out.
coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No.
Shut up, stop
It's
hiding.
not random at all.
Hiding the truth from us.
She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say like that.
If you're not the
We
killer,
can.
then why would you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Oh yeah, he does wear those kind of shirts, doesn't he?
Exactly. A figured it out from the lost episode. I was the mastermind this whole time. Man, and they think I'm the dumb one.
You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
He's always
Is
panicked.
one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white
Pardon the
button-up.
lost. I said.
Do we really think Byakuya would have done it? Because I can clearly see he's wearing one, but do we really think he would have done it?
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with
don't
shirts
think
like
so.
mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
I mean,
That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt remains of the button-up shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it we need to pay attention to in order to figure out who's responsible.
where it was disposed
How
of.
it was disposed of.
If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Because, remember, when we found that, we were in the trash room with Kasumi talking about the incinerator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
That is exactly what we were gonna say.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
Wait a minute.
But then, how was it on when we went in there?
But that's
You need
also
the key
another
to get
good
in, and the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. And in case you're wondering, that is the clip that I said I wanted to use in the last Minecraft episode. Him saying, no, that's wrong, but I didn't want to spoil this, so...
Don't even know what you're talking about, but sure.
You know, how when we shoot some correct, I will pops up, and he's like, no, that's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on cleaning duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer.
What?
Don't you remember the other thing we found near the incinerator? More, yeah. Remember
Wait,
where it
would
was?
he have thrown thing to make the incinerator?
The key to the trash room.
That's my question.
Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
Yeah, whoever had
So the only one
the-
who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
Yeah.
And you'd have to get close to the
No,
incinerator.
you would not!
No, that's wrong.
That's false. Stop.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, that's
But how would you use it?
The killer had to use the glass ball in a certain way, which was to throw it!
I was right!
The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
And the only one who can throw
what you
something
said
like that
before,
is if they had practice with throwing.
Huh? Someone turned the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain it was off last time I was down here. Perhaps it was the work of a fairy.
Oh, no.
We had a lot of
Someone
carved
had
words
the
to say
key.
about that in the last
So the only
episode.
way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room.
Do you see
The
any
shards
hair?
of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30
And
feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult,
It's possible.
absolutely.
Impossible? No.
I don't think
because
so.
the killer, it wouldn't have been much of a challenge at all because the killer was the ultimate baseball star.
Man,
Because the
I am
killer
on
is the ultimate baseball star.
Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
Who is right next to me?
You can't be serious.
like hysteria in our soul.
I'm not the killer. These goddamn brains have got it all wrong. I'm telling you.
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear. And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
Remember when I said about we'd have to make a comic book?
Oh, yes.
It's going to be about that time.
Climax something.
So, this is the comic book of the events that happened. And we need to fill in all the little blank spots here. Not everything that... They're just like in musical chairs, there's one more than what we actually can use.
Culprit looks really terrifying right now.
Also, we can hit one of the question marks to know what we're trying to look for here. Luckily, I think I remember each of the spots for where what goes in here.
We have like 20 minutes to do this.
Okay, so we'll have to be quick. Wait. Oh. No, I think... Yeah, that is 20 minutes. I don't know why. But I'm going... Since I'm pretty sure I know how this whole thing plays out, I'm going to tell it as I'm putting it together. The killer went to, quote-unquote, our room, thinking it was Sayaka's, not knowing she was there waiting for something like this, waiting for them. When she struck at them, they grabbed the replica sword that was just there and blocked her attack. And then they broke her wrists, causing her to flee into the bathroom, to where they used a screwdriver to break open the door because they thought it was locked. They stabbed her, and she left behind something that would help solve this whole thing. And then she was dead. Now that she was dead, they used the lint roller to clean up a trace they'd been there. And then after that, they went to the trash room and used Hero's ball to turn on the incinerator, where they tossed their shirt into it. But what they didn't know is that a piece of it fell out, which is exactly what we needed. That was my version of it. Let's hear Makoto talk about it.
Here's exactly what happened. I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot, and that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt, and that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball, you thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object, I object, I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit, and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence?
I have the evidence? This is the bullet time battle thing. This is the last thing I was talking about, where we have to fight against somebody who's clearly in the wrong.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
They used some of their own to remove the screws. Could it have been...
I refuse to acknowledge you! You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
I have to show indisputable evidence that Leon is the killer. I need to figure it out. The moment of truth. Here we go.
Oh wow, it's literally called the moment of truth.
Where's your proof? You kidding me?
You hit the one button to lock on to their argument, and then you hit another button
Stop
to
talking.
destroy them.
Shut up! Where's your proof?
there's more mechanics to it.
You kidding me?
But we won't find those out until
Not
a later
chance.
trial.
Stupid! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Where's your proof?
Here's our proof.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Their own.
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh? And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
What in the world is going on?
It would seem we are.
Oh, here we got an A.
And 80 coins.
Nice.
Oh wait, look, we got achievements.
We did?
You must acquit, and what's a mistrial?
What?
I forget what those achievements are for, but...
Wait, what?
But there's also...
Can't see those.
But there's also one... They probably can't see those because they were behind my face cam for them.
I couldn't see those either.
Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selections. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Here we go.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I think it's obvious. What? Oh, what the? What the? What the?
Uh-oh, looks like you got it right on the money. The Blackened, in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kawata.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka?
But...
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
Son of a gun, what the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill or be killed.
So...
In this world, it's kill or be killed!
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One wrong step and you'd be the one standing here. It was complete chance that I wound up like this.
I was just... unlucky. That's all.
Hey! Come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. But when I think about it, honestly, I'd be better off if we'd been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, then that truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now we're trapped here with no way out. They're probably waiting for me.
Why?
I can't afford to be stuck in here.
Isn't that an episode 1 flashback?
No, I think that was an episode 2 flashback.
Jesus Christ, this is so hard to tell what's going on in there.
The one that was more important... Actually, no. Since we talked to her like that in episode 3, I think that was the last episode flashback.
I highly doubt that was the last episode flashback.
The one thing that was more important to her than anything else. Her dreams. Her friends. To have see something like that happen to them. And Sayaka. I did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean, even some things that weren't so pleasant.
To kill! Like I said in like the last episode.
So you admit it then?
Shut the...
And that's why Sayaka... And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. And so when she said...
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
I told you. Told you.
She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me.
I knew it!
Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. Once you're dead, that's that. Holy howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try and kill someone just because of those relationships? She seems so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside she's descended into pure madness. What'd you say?
Phew!
I understand, I really do. Yep. You're an utter spirit, thinks science is betrayal, right?
No.
Compassion, intimacy, love. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair when they collapse. Stop screwing with us, this is all your fault. Sayaka didn't force to do something like that. All of it. Everything. It's all your fault.
Not really.
Something in frenzy wants to mock him, but...
That's enough.
As angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure would leave a bruise.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let go for now. Dang it! That was a close one. I thought for sure you were gonna give me a good walloping. Just barely avoiding punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed!
Now then, since you so magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class trial, the Black and Leon Kawada will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean...
He literally said...
Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
I mean, you kind of had a choice.
I was just protecting myself from the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
You could have self-defense.
How exactly was it self-defense? Before she waged to the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toothpaste? After she shut herself in the bathroom. She has an accent. You heard her have an accent in the trial.
Yes.
After she checked herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way to head back to your own room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
That's kind of that was not self-defense.
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to.
That what you decided.
Is it not because you had an unplanned intent to commit murder?
So, that's why...
No, that's not... Stop it. I've had enough of this. Oh, are you sure? You were closer... You heard you were closer than her than anyone else, were you not? You killed your precious Sayaka. Do you understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either. Because the one to blame is him.
Not really.
If it weren't for you, this never would happen. Sayaka, or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting against one person in any situation. The mastermind.
I mean, I don't think he's really the mastermind.
Did you awaken to your sense? Did you awaken to your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than another with an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war out of the world. Is that the kind of justice that's awakened within you? Just shut up! Okay, well, anyway, more importantly, let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for. The punishment!
I'm begging you! Please, don't do this!
I don't think Leon's been waiting for this.
No more begging, no more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop,
Society demands
please!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
For Leon Kawada, the ultimate baseball star.
No, 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 no!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Oh, this is the cutscene I was talking about. The button, and game over. Leon has been found guilty. Time for the punishment.
Sounds like he's laughing. Looks like he's laughing. And I hate that.
Oh boy. Oh! Oh no. Oh.
Is that a
baseball cannon?
Oh, but that's a thing.
Yeah, it's at those pitching ranges or batting cages, whatever.
Yeah.
1,000 below. Oh, that's gotta hurt. You cannot look me in the eyes and tell me that doesn't hurt.
It looks cool. Seriously?
And he's hitting all of them? Are you kidding me?
Is that actually Monokuma, or is that...
Oh god, not to the face!
Wait, what? Was it actually Monokuma that was hitting all of those home runs, to say the least? Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Oh god, there's blood on that one. Yep, I don't think he survived that.
Oh, you don't think?
Shut up. What
Seriously?
we saw,
They were watching from the courtroom?
that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else could we call it?
Ultimate Madness.
Whoa, extreme!
What's my
Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control. Well, you did just hit 1,000 baseballs.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
What's going on?
I don't know. You
I can't take it.
Isn't that what Sayaka's
doing this? I just can't take it.
Well,
yeah, isn't that what
hey,
Sayaka?
if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties to the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you get on board with that. Which we are. It's you that's not on board with it.
I mean, it's kind of little mouse sex. What? Don't know what to say.
Man, frick you. Why the frick are you doing all this evil stuff to us anyway?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful, secret society type guy.
Say what?
Or in this case, a dark, awful, secret society type of bear. So why are you putting an upstanding young citizen like me through such a thrilling ordeal?
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. Translate that 5 times fast.
Common sense to make sense. So.
That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think it's possible.
Gentle miles.
Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together. You piece of crap. I don't know what you're on, but I'm gonna pound you into the ground. You must really hate me to get so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decided you wanted to get out, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course you can't cut free of the outside world. Being trapped in this place is an insane place. You're trapped, are you? Well, I'm sure once you learn all the mysteries of the school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it wonderful how we all get to live here forever?
What
does this mean? What are you trying to say?
Hey.
I feel like there's some deeper meaning in there.
I feel like you're right.
Kills! Kills! Kills!
Punishment. That's what everyone's waiting for, after all.
Yeah, everyone's gone.
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to?
Everyone.
Sorry, I just said everything I've got to say. I need to save some fun for later. And like that, he's gone. Well, I said that before he even popped up. He left us there, overwhelmed by a nightmare from reality.
I thought it was already I thought for you guys it was already
Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But it was in that moment.
Just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second?
Really? And just after he said everybody's voices...
She moved in close and... Well, technically, she's different.
Fair.
She moved in close and whispered in my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact that can never change. But till the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why, as she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure, and we can't ask her now.
However...
If you can't ask her, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
So...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Or maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
Certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain.
Wasn't
she wasn't sure she could kill someone or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward.
Was Leon really your friend?
Well, you're the one who wanted to talk to him.
I'd kind of count him as an acquaintance.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. We passed her death, I can never do that. No, I'm going to carry them with me for the rest of my life. How can I possibly move past something like that? Beyond Sayaka, I'll carry them with me forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go.
Oh god, no, you had to scream that?
So instead of forgetting them, you're choosing to hit the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. She said that she revealed the smallest smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka?
I don't know.
I think I have an idea of where this is going, and it's the last time we're ever going to get to use this joke.
Why?
Oh, well... Do you want to say it with me?
I have no idea what the joke is, so you can say it.
You know what the joke is.
I don't know the joke.
I'm psychic.
Oh.
What?
Huh? Kidding. I just have pretty good intuition. Chapter 1, to survive. The end.
Surviving students 12.
That's 3
Darn.
people down. To be continued. And I think that's a pretty good ending point for us too. Oh, after this, I guess. Right, I said we do get a key item. Okay. So, in case some like last episode happens again, where we need to replay something, I'm going to make a separate save file so that we don't have to play through the trial all over again. And this is where we're going to end it. As you can see, the thing says we're in Chapter 2 now, so that's good. But we'll have to find out its name next time, because this video is already way too long.
Jeez, it's almost reaching an hour.
So if you like what you saw, hit that big red button down there. Leave a like if you liked it. As always, stay ultra. See you guys next week for the next Minecraft episode.
Yeah, see you later.
Cracky.